One evening, Olivia was walking home from work. While passing by the local police station, she noticed a commotion. Apparently, a prisoner had escaped recently. The police had a list of 3 suspects who could have helped with the escape. One was a delivery man holding a box. Another was a lawyer with a briefcase. And the 3rd suspect was an old woman with a cane. Olivia figured out right away who had helped the prisoner escape. Who was it? It was the delivery man who helped the prisoner escape. Look, there are handcuffs inside the box he's carrying. Olivia kept walking. Soon, she was next to a bookstore. At this time of day, it was supposed to be already closed, but the girl realized that the back door was slightly open. Then she saw 3 people running away and down different streets. They were a teenager with a backpack, a woman in high heels holding a coffee, and a jogger wearing earbuds. One of them broke into the bookstore just a few minutes ago. Who was it? It was the teenager. See that plastic bag with printed book titles? She must have grabbed it inside before running away. The day was getting more and more tiring, and Olivia decided to take a shortcut through a dimly lit park. As she was walking along the main path, she noticed something strange. In a small square, there were several statues. But something made her stop. She realized that one of the statues was alive. Can you help her figure out which statue is actually a human in disguise? It's this warrior. A trickle of sweat gives away his identity. He is just posing as a statue. It was quite dark in the park, so Olivia accidentally tripped over and lost consciousness. When she came around, she was in a room. On the table in the middle, there was a mixture of salt and pepper, and a note. Apparently, to escape, Olivia had to separate the salt and pepper. Look at what Olivia has at hand and try to understand how she can do it. Olivia has a plastic comb in her bag. She could run it through her hair several times and bring the comb to the pepper mixed with the salt. All the peppercorns will separate from the salt and stick to the electrified comb. Unfortunately, the note tricked Olivia. She found herself in a different room. To get out of that one, she had to get a coin out of a plate filled with water covering the coin completely. But she wasn't allowed to soak her fingers. Olivia did it without any problem. How? She took a glass and placed a burning match inside. After a few seconds, she lowered the glass onto the plate next to the coin. The water gathered under the glass, and she easily picked the coin up. Luckily, this time, Olivia managed to break free for real. But the evening was going to end peacefully. She saw that someone had robbed a jewelry store. A detective had already arrived and was interviewing 3 employees: John, Sarah, and Mike. John claimed he had been in the storeroom. Sarah said that one customer had been having problems with his credit card, and she had been trying to help him. And Mike insisted he had been in the office. Olivia knew who was lying. Have you figured it out? Sarah is lying. Have you noticed that note on the window? Cash only? The store doesn't accept credit cards, so Sarah must be the thief. Olivia remembered that she'd run out of milk and decided to drop by a grocery store. After grabbing the stuff she needed, she came up to the cashier to pay. The employee told her $5.05. Olivia paid, went outside, and called the police to report an emergency. Why? The cash register showed $10.60, but the cashier said $5.05, which looks like SOS. Olivia was very close to her home when she heard someone screaming. She rushed over there and saw a young woman crying. She was talking to a friend on the phone when someone grabbed the device and pushed her to the ground. When she got up, there was no one around, but she saw the door of a nearby cafe closing. Olivia and the girl entered the cafe and looked around. There were 5 people inside. All of them looked rather decent. Can you figure out who's the thief? It's the man near the coffee machine. His drink is still steaming. It means he's just bought it. When Olivia finally got home, she felt uneasy. She lived alone, but something seemed off. Suddenly, she realized that someone was hiding in her apartment. How did she understand it? Have you noticed the movement in the TV's reflection? It means someone is hiding in the room, possibly behind the couch. Luckily, Olivia noticed it and called the police in time. After this unnerving situation, Olivia invited 3 friends to sleep over at her place. They watched a movie, ate popcorn, and talked until late. Finally, they all went to bed. But something caught Olivia's attention in the middle of the night. She understood that someone was awake. Can you figure out which of Olivia's friends isn't sleeping? Renata is awake. She's pretending to be asleep, but she's using her cell phone. The soft glow of the screen and the way she holds the device under the blanket reveal that she hasn't turned it off. In the morning, Olivia was going to have a piece of cake she left for breakfast. Sadly, someone had already eaten her dessert. None of her friends admits to doing it. Look at them attentively and help Olivia find the one with a sweet tooth. There's some chocolate on Brian's sleeve. He must have eaten Olivia's cake. The girl went to the supermarket to get another treat for herself. While entering the store, she heard an alarm go off when a young woman tried to leave the store. A security guard stopped her and asked whether she had a receipt. She did, so the guard checked the girl's purchases. Everything looked okay, and the man wanted to let the girl go. But Olivia stopped him. Why? The date on the receipt is wrong. Look at that digital screen on the wall, displaying the current date. The girl must have bought all the products the day before and then came the next day to steal the same stuff. Olivia wanted to get some salad for lunch and was choosing between these 3. Can you help her pick the only fresh salad? The salad on the right has flies flying all over it. Yuck! The salad in the middle has cheese with mold in it. But it's not that kind of cheese, it's just gone bad. So the only fresh salad is the one on the left. On her way home, Olivia decided to walk through the park again. She saw 2 girls there. They were in a clearing with lots of berries growing there. Apparently, the girls were hungry because they both decided to snack on the berries. Olivia realized that for one of them, it was going to be a grave mistake. Which girl is in danger? The girl on the right is about to munch on the berries that have knocked off a bird. See? It means they might be poisonous for her too. As for the girl on the left, she's probably not in danger. After stopping the girls and sharing some food with them, Olivia kept walking. Soon, she reached a riverbank and saw a glass bottle lying there. The bottle looked old, and Olivia had put a lot of effort into opening it. To her shock, a genie appeared from the bottle. he promised to grant her 3 wishes. His only condition was that she couldn't wish for more wishes. Olivia agreed and still managed to get more wishes. How did she do it? She started with wishing that the genie allowed her to ask for more wishes.
Now, can you think like a detective and spot the truth buried beneath layers of lies? Well, try anyway. Each riddle will push your brain to the edge, and only the sharpest minds will solve them all. Anastasia is in a coffee shop with her baby in a stroller when her cell phone rings. She needs to go outside for a moment and asks a waitress to keep an eye on the child very quickly. Then, some men approach her and claim to be the father of the kid. Well, who is the real father here? Look, the little one has the same birthmark on his neck as the third man. He's smiling at him and stretching out his arms, which means he recognized the man. It's early morning, and the police set up a blockade near a train station. They know that a prisoner has just escaped and may be among the passengers. Can you tell who the fugitive is here? The police officer notices that the lady with the cane has red marks on her wrists, as if she recently used handcuffs. Plus, her dress has an unusual crease in the back, as if she put it on in a hurry. The cane looks new, and she's using it with the arm opposite the leg with a slight limp. So it's actually the runaway criminal. Can you guess the next 2 numbers in this sequence? The correct answer here is 192021. If you look at it as 2-digit numbers, you'll see 10, 11, 12, and so on. An infinite number of mathematicians walk into a bar. The first math guy asks the bartender for half a glass of juice, the second, a quarter of a glass, the third an eighth, and so on. So, how many glasses of juice will the bartender need to make all the mathematicians happy? Just 1. The amount of juice will decrease with every mathematician. I guess they don't like juice all that much. Someone left a kid next to some shower stalls in a public restroom. The baby boy becomes restless and starts crying. There are 3 women in the shower. Which one is his mommy? The last woman is the child's mother. Those packages on the floor next to her are diapers. Sam told her boss someone had stolen the documents he had prepared for the meeting. He added that he noticed someone in a smart suit, gloves, and a black mask. The possible robber also had 2 massive rings with gems on their fingers. The boss knew Sam was lying, and he just didn't prepare the papers on time. How did she guess? He said the person was wearing gloves, but he somehow noticed 2 massive rings. Ah. Rita couldn't wait to try the new Hall of Mirrors at the fun fair. The information board said only 1 person at a time was allowed inside. Rita rushed in and had a bunch of fun looking at all the funny reflections of herself in the weird mirrors. Suddenly, she screamed in horror and ran out. What happened? One of the mirror reflections clearly doesn't belong to Rita. It could be a mistake, or it could be someone hiding there with evil intentions. 2 super rich businessmen are discussing a secret deal. Shh! They chose a cozy corner of a restaurant from where they could see all the other guests. They whisper as they suspect someone is spying on them. Do you see anyone suspicious here? This guy here has huge headphones, and they aren't wireless, so they must be connected to something. But he forgot to do it, so he can't be listening to music. He must be spying on the businessman. Someone keeps stealing all the earrings from a popular sushi bar. The owner calls the police. They couldn't find any fingerprints, and the cameras were turned off. And every time he was robbed, the owner received plenty of money from the insurance company. After searching the owner's office, the police realized it was him all the time. How? Look at the air vent. There are bundles of money behind the grated hatch. A famous singer holds a press conference. She's known for her love for expensive jewelry, and she never appears in public without her favorites. After the conference, she notices that her bracelet, worth $1 million, is missing. Probably one of the journalists was faked and took it during the autograph session. Any guesses on who it was? Look at this footage carefully. Only one of the journalists doesn't have a voice recorder, a phone, or even a pen and a notepad. He must be the thief. Sandra is looking for a soulmate who would never lie to her. She finds Tommy via a dating app, and he seems perfect. He works for the fire brigade and saves dozens of lives every day. When they go on a first date, Sandra tells him she won't be able to trust him and leaves. What happened? Sandra must have noticed the name tag Tommy forgot to take off. It says he works as an office manager, so he was lying to her about saving lives the whole time. Someone is stealing food from Tina's lunchbox in the office fridge. She decides to catch the thief and puts a little alarm that will send a signal to her phone when someone opens the box. When the alarm goes off, she runs to the kitchen, but the thief must already be back at their desk. Tina immediately guesses who it is. Lisa, her colleague, is trying to pretend she was putting her makeup on all the time, but she has a glue stick instead of a lipstick in her hands. Someone broke into Michelle Neighbor's apartment at around 8 a.m. She called the police and told them the thief's license plate number. They immediately found the guy, but he claimed he was at the cafe on the ground floor of the apartment building having breakfast. So Michelle must have made a mistake. Or did she? The cafe only opens at 9 a.m. The guy couldn't be having a breakfast there before the opening time. Michael got into a car accident. His car was okay, but the other driver crashed into a tree. Luckily, he wasn't injured. When the police arrived, Michael told them, "Yes, I was driving fast, but I'm always careful. This car just pulled in front of me. He must want money from me because he saw I have an expensive car." The other guy said, "I was driving slowly, talking to my wife, and then you appeared out of nowhere." Who do you think is guilty here? Definitely not Michael. The other driver was talking to his wife on the phone, which is illegal. A CEO of a huge company wants to hire a new personal assistant. The selection process goes through several stages, and only 3 candidates make it to the final round. One of them drops her bag by accident, and the CEO instantly decides to strike her name from the candidates list. Why? Well, it's okay to be clumsy sometimes, but it's definitely super weird that this girl is carrying several IDs, all with different names on them, in her bag. She could be a spy from a competing company or just dangerous. Nancy is a model and has lots of competition. Someone poured paint into the shower head before she went in, and the water turned orange. Nancy questioned Laurette, Nina, and Frances. Nancy said, "I did my laundry and then went to cook lunch. I gotta run or it'll burn." Nina said, "I took a shower and washed my hair right before you went in." Frances said, "I'm studying for my finals. I have no idea what's going on." Who made Nancy orange? Look at Nina's hair. It's dry and perfectly curled. And she has jeans under her bathrobe. She's clearly lying. Well, how many logical puzzles did you manage to solve? Feel free to brag in the comment section below. Are you ready for a mental workout? These riddles will make your brain sweat. So let's get it started. And bring a towel with you, okay? It's lunchtime at a large and busy office. Jeremy is enjoying some noodles from a takeout container. Yum! Liza prefers a healthy salad with shrimp. Seems like a pretty normal situation, but one of them is eating someone else's lunch. Yikes! Can you guess who? Looks like Jeremy likes to steal other people's food, or maybe it's just today. The container he's eating from is clearly labeled Brian, and he's not Brian. His own badge says Jeremy. Someone just robbed the jewelry store downtown. The robber ran inside the hospital and tried to mix with the crowd. But hey, no one can fool the local police officer. He has 3 suspects: a pregnant woman, an old man, and a blind man in sunglasses. Which of them is the disguised robber? It's the man with sunglasses. He's pretending to be blind, but he doesn't have a cane, which is suspicious. He must have just put those sunglasses on for disguise. Mindy is opening a new hair salon and wants to hire the best hairdressers. 3 candidates apply for the job. Alice claims to have 25 years of experience. Apple recently won a prestigious award. Natalie specializes in hair coloring, and her social media looks pretty amazing. One of the ladies is lying, though. Can you guess who? Alice says she has 25 years of experience, but her profile states she's only 30 years old. Unless she started working as a hairdresser at 5, she must be lying. Oh no, someone stole a pair of expensive high-heeled shoes from a designer boutique. Surveillance cameras inside weren't working, but luckily, there are some photos of people entering and exiting. Can you spot the thief? Look here. This woman became taller when she was leaving the store. She must have put on the high heels she had just stolen. A group of friends is going away for the weekend and renting a house. They agree to cook together, and everybody makes one dish. It's time to eat the soup, and everyone who has tried it starts giggling. The soup tastes like dessert, so the cook must have mixed up sugar and salt. Can you guess which of the friends cooked the soup? This guy in the corner has a fork instead of a spoon. He knew he wouldn't want the sweet soup anyways, so he didn't take a spoon for himself. 5 contestants make it to the final round of a popular cooking show on TV. Their task today is to talk about the most impressive cake they've ever made. Of course, they must show photos or videos of the cake. Sarah and Lizzie show the same absolutely amazing cake. Which one of them is lying that she made it? Both of them decided to cheat. The cake photo has the logo of its real creator in the bottom right corner. It says, "Made with Love by Nina Potter." You go to a museum that has an amazing new natural exhibition, but you didn't expect your immersion into nature to be so complete. One spider broke free from its exhibit window. Everyone is panicking, but you want to help out and spot it before it does something mean. Good luck saving everyone. Yay, here it is! The spider must have thought this beautiful painting is real and wanted to join the fam. Half of its body goes well beyond the frame. Don't like spiders? Yeah, me neither. I've got a bunny riddle for you. This cutie is running wild and free right into that field. Can you tell to what point it can run into that field? The bunny can only run as far as the middle of the field. After that midpoint, it will actually be running out of the field. Nancy has a job interview. It's going well, and she only has one question left to answer. The interviewer asks, "If you multiply all the numbers on your phone keypad, what number will you get?" Nancy is really confused since she isn't that good at math. Can you help her out? You don't have to be a math genius to solve this one. Multiplying any number by 0 always results in 0. And since there's a 0 on the phone, that's the answer. A really sweet-looking old man approaches Sam at the restaurant.
Hey!
He says Sam looks exactly like his son, whom he hasn't seen for years. He asks Sam a simple favor, to wave at him and say, "Bye, Dad," when he leaves the restaurant. Sam gladly does it, but minutes later, he gets a huge bill from the waiter. What just happened here? The old man told the waiter that his son would pay for his heavy lunch, and since Sam called him Dad, the waiter believed him. A famous painter is ready to give away one of his works for free to whoever guesses the logic behind this composition. The colors are burgundy, crimson, indigo, olive, and pink. Which color should go next and finish the sequence? The number of letters in the names of these colors gets reduced by 1 in every next row. So, any color that has 3 letters in its name will do. For example, tan or red. Ashley moves to a tiny town where everyone knows and helps each other. There are 2 nail artists to choose from. The first looks really fancy, and her nails are impeccable. She works at the only beauty studio in town, and it's really chic. The second one works at home, and her nails don't look so perfect. Which one should Ashley choose? Since they are the only 2 nail specialists, they do each other's nails. So Ashley should go to the second lady. She did a really great job on the other one. Tim is a real globetrotter and travels so much that he sometimes forgets where he is. He arrives at one of many hotels on his trip and wants to find out what time it is. He sees 3 clocks, each showing the time at one location. So what time is it now? The Coliseum and Manhattan are just posters on the wall, and the Sydney Opera House is really there. You can see it through the window. So the correct time is 9:25, mate. Someone stole the trophy from Angelina, who had just won the Best Actress award. There are 3 main suspects. Jim, a backstage crew member, claims that he was busy taking photos with all the celebrities. Nadia, an actress who didn't win this year, says this award meant nothing to her, so she wouldn't steal it. Kat, a celebrity stylist, says she was watching the ceremony with other guests, and they can confirm it. So, who's lying? If you look closely, you can see Nadia stealing the award in Jim's photos. I guess she wanted it after all. It's a summer weekend and friends are chilling at a remote lake. 4 of them go inside the lake, which is completely empty. Sometime later, 8 people walked out of the lake. What just happened there? Well, 4 people who walked into the lake were carrying 4 friends on their shoulders on the way in. They jumped off inside the lake and walked out on their own. Elisa finds an ad that offers a 90% discount on her dream vacation to whoever can solve the riddle. The owner of the travel agency shows a $50 bill and asks to find the easiest way to double the money in 10 seconds. What should Elisa do to solve the riddle? She should just put the bill in front of a mirror to double the money. Ashley receives an unsigned love note with an invitation to a fancy date. Inside the envelope, there was also a calendar and a code, 12263. Can you help the girl figure out who sent the note? The calendar will help. You'll need to find all the numbers in the calendar, and the first letters of the respective months will make up the name. So 12 is circled in September, so it's the letter S. Number 26 is circled in August, so it's an A. 3 is in May, it's an M, so the guy's name is Sam. Did you manage to solve all the riddles? Which one of them was the hardest? Feel free to share in the comments below.
Hey riddle lovers, ready to take your brain for a marathon? Well then, let's go. 2 friends meet in the street. Ben says he's heading to house number 23. Jeremy says he's going to visit his friend who lives in house number 7. Can you tell which one is Ben and which one is Jeremy? Ben is the one wearing the cap. Look closely at the house number. It's 19. If you walk from the beginning of the street, odd number houses are on the left side. The guy in the cap is walking in the direction of large numbers, so he must be Ben. In the evening, a woman said, "My cat has disappeared." The window was closed, the door was locked, no signs, no sounds. Where did the cat go if the house was completely closed? The cat never really left. It crawled into a slightly open drawer of the dresser and fell asleep there. The woman didn't check it, but no one can trick you. A tiny tip of the cat's tail is sticking out. And while we're on the topic of pets, here's a fashion dilemma. If dogs wore pants, would they wear them like this or like this? The more accurate version would be the one on the right, on the hind legs, just like humans. That's because pants are clothing for the lower part of the body, and in dogs, that means the hind legs. The front legs are more like arms than legs. You're in your cabin. You travel exactly 100 miles south. Then you see a bear. You travel exactly 100 miles east, and the bear runs away. You travel exactly 100 miles north, returning to your cabin. What color is the bear? The bear has to be white. This riddle only makes sense if your cabin is at the North Pole. Going 100 miles south, then 100 miles east, which doesn't change your latitude much at the pole, and then 100 miles north brings you back to the original position. 3 friends are taking part in a high-fashion photo shoot, and each of them has carefully picked her outfit. But one of them is hiding a secret. She's pregnant. Can you figure out who's expecting just by spotting one little detail? must be the girl in the middle, the one wearing the pink heels with rhinestones. If you look closely, her right shoe is buckled on the last hole as if her foot has slightly swollen. Also, platform shoes offer more stability than stilettos. She must be trying to stay stylish while concealing her pregnancy. John has a small shop that sells socks. One day, he decided to attract more people and launched an advertisement: socks for free. Many people came there, but all the customers had to pay, even though the socks were free. Why? John would only give the left sock to his customers. The socks were good and people wanted to buy the second one. Who needs only one sock after all? Kelly works as a barista. This morning she dropped a cup full of coffee. Luckily, her white shirt wasn't stained, but it took a while to clean up the mess. How come? I never told you the coffee was liquid. There were coffee beans in the cup. They ended up right under the counter. Phil Adams, who didn't really like modern art, rushed into the city gallery and caused millions of dollars worth of damage to several paintings. Yet the manager of the gallery thanked Mr. Adams for what he did to them. How come? Phil was a firefighter. The water from his hose damaged several masterpieces, but he still managed to extinguish the fire and save many more exhibits. Angie put a coin into an empty bottle and plugged it tightly with a cork. Then she told her friend she'd take out the coin without breaking the bottle or taking out the cork. And she did it. Can you guess how? Angie just pushed the cork into the bottle and then shook it to make the coin fall out. Easy peasy. Mike was about to fail his exam, but the kind professor gave him one last chance. The guy had to arrange 4 9s to make them equal 100. He could use any math symbols. How can he do it? Mike activated all of his math skills and some common sense to figure out the answer. Lena and Tina are best friends, but recently they had a huge scandal. Lena is trying everything to make Tina forgive her. She sends her a strange coded message. What did Lena try to say? She wanted to say forgive in this unusual way. Doesn't look convincing enough to me. A dangerous criminal escaped and is headed to the airport to leave the country. The security knows he'll try to use a fake ID, so they check everyone thoroughly and find 3 main suspects. Can you guess which passport is fake out of these 3? Different countries have different rules, but I'm sure no one would let their citizens use a selfie with someone else's hand on their shoulder as a passport photo. So Jin Beam must have just made this fake passport. Mr. Focus often offers other people adventurous bets. This time, he said he could throw a ball and it would come back to him every time. He also said there would be no obstacle or wall that the ball could ricochet from. Other people think it's impossible and lose the bet. So what's the deal here? Mr. Focus throws the ball straight up. It obviously comes back to him every time. Nancy is taking part in a TV quiz where she can win 1 pound of pure gold. At the end of the show, the host brings her 3 large jars. Each of them has 1 pound of pure gold inside, but also some unpleasant surprises. The first jar has venomous spiders inside. The second one is full of acid. and the third one is filled with boiling hot water. Nancy can only use her hands to get the gold out, and she has 30 minutes to finish. Can you help her? She should choose the jar with hot water. It's gonna get almost lukewarm in half an hour. Michael is trapped in a room. It's slowly filling with water that's coming from a tap in the wall. There are no windows in the room and the door is blocked. Michael has a mop and a big bucket. What can he do to survive? Well, the only thing the guy needs to do is to turn off the tap to keep the water from coming. Sally invited all her friends to her favorite restaurant to celebrate her birthday. She got her dream present, a ring with a huge diamond. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness. After several minutes of total confusion, the lights came back on, but Megan's ring was gone. Look at the picture to try to figure out who stole it. It was the waiter. Look at the glass he's holding. He put the ring inside, and now there's much more water in it. A group of students went to visit an art gallery that has paintings from famous artists from different countries. Half an hour into the excursion, an alarm went on as one of the students was trying to damage one of the paintings. Since they all have uniforms, it's impossible to tell who exactly just from the CCTV footage. 3 possible suspects all have their excuses. Ashley said, "I love the painting so much I texted my mom about it. Why would I damage it?" Dawn said, "I didn't stay long in that room as I wanted to see the ancient mammal bones." Steve said, "Professor, I was just following you." One of these students is lying, but who? Dawn is lying, as there can be no mammal bones in an art gallery with paintings. How many of these mind-twisting riddles did you manage to solve? Feel free to share in the comments below.
The police received a tip. A dangerous criminal is hiding at the beach, disguised as a regular tourist. She's one of the girls standing under a shower now. Can you figure out which one is dangerous? It's the third girl in the gold swimsuit. Have you noticed that she's showering with latex gloves? No tourist would do that. She doesn't want to leave her fingerprints on any surfaces, afraid of being exposed. Sarah needs to fry 6 pies. How can she do it in 15 minutes if the pan only fits 4 pies at a time and each pie needs to fry for 5 minutes on each side? Sarah places 4 pies on the pan and fries them for 5 minutes. Then she flips 2 pies, removes the other 2, and places 2 new uncooked pies. After frying for 5 minutes, she removes the 2 finished pies, flips the remaining 2, places the last 2 uncooked pies, and leaves them for 5 minutes. Detective Case visited a lake where 3 people were minding their own business. One was swimming, one was fishing, and the other was in a boat. When the swimmer came ashore, she saw that her bracelet was missing, yet there were no footprints in the sand. Case instantly realized who had taken the bracelet. Do you know it too? It was the fisherman. He hooked the bracelet with his rod without stepping onto the sand. The captain of a Japanese ship left his watch in his cabin while he went to oil the ship. When he came back, the watch was gone. He questioned 3 crew members. The cook said he'd been in the kitchen making dinner. The engineer said he'd been in the engine room. The seaman said he'd been fixing the flag on the mast because it was upside down. The captain understood who the thief was. Who did it?
the semen. The Japanese flag looks the same right side up or upside down. A man rushed into the hospital, saw his wife lying in a bed and shouted, "Who poisoned her?" Detective File stopped him and asked where he'd been. The man answered that he'd been at a friend's house when his housekeeper called. She told him his wife had collapsed and had been taken to the hospital. As soon as he got the news, he ran over. Detective File arrested the man immediately. Why? Because no one ever said she was poisoned, only that she collapsed. Sam came to his office and found a large sum of cash missing. 3 people could have entered the office. John said that he'd been outside drinking coffee. Marcus explained that he'd been sitting at his desk working. And Lisa said that she'd felt unwell and had been resting. Who took the money? See that coffee cup on John's desk? Why would he go outside if he'd had enough coffee at hand? He must be the thief. A jeweler holding ice near his right temple claimed that a well-dressed man with a cane had come in to check out some rings. Suddenly, the man hit the jeweler on the head with the cane. When the jeweler came to his senses, the rings were gone. Strangely, the police arrested the jeweler. Why? If the man had been holding the cane in his right hand, the jeweler would have been hit on the left temple, not the right. The jeweler made up the robbery to claim insurance. Inspector Winters questioned the main suspect, Mr. Logan, after a crash caused by a speeding car. The inspector also said that the car, according to witnesses, was very loud. Logan claimed that he hadn't driven in 2 days. It was his wife who used their car that morning. Also, to prove his car was very quiet, he sat inside and started it. The car indeed ran silently, but the inspector immediately realized Logan had lied. How? If Logan hadn't driven recently, the seat wouldn't have been adjusted to his height. Martin was playing tennis with his friend David. He hit the ball too hard, it flew into the air and fell down a hollow fence post. The post was narrow and Martin couldn't get the ball out of there. Luckily, David had an idea. In no time, the guy helped Martin get the ball back. How did he do it? David used a water hose lying nearby. He filled the pipe with water, and the ball floated up. A woman saw a guy getting robbed. She screamed to warn him, but did nothing else to prevent the robbery. Why? She was just watching a TV show. An accident happens at a gas station. Some petrol spills out and catches fire. The flames are spreading toward huge drums just a few feet away. If the fire reaches them, there will be a blast. Thomas brings a water pipe to help put the fire out, but the manager stops him. Why? Pouring water will only make the fire spread faster. The manager quickly throws some soil over it and puts out the fire. 2 people were born at the same time, but they don't celebrate their birthdays on the same day. How is it possible? They were born in different time zones, and in one of these zones, it was already the next day. A man was in a 9-story building when a fire started. He jumped out the window and didn't get any injuries. How is it possible? The man was on the first floor when he jumped out the window. 4 prisoners took up art classes. They studied every Monday. Guards escorted them to the art room and searched the prisoners at the end of every lesson. All the prisoners had their own art supplies, which they kept inside their cells. The question is, which of them has more chances to escape? It's this prisoner. He can use his supplies to paint his clothes green. This way, he'll look like a guard and will be able to sneak out of jail. Alia dreams of eating some mangoes. There's a mango tree next to a nearby pond, but an imitator monkey lives on top of it. The girl can't reach the fruit. What can she do instead? She can throw something at the monkey. It'll imitate her and throw a mango at her. Mark got locked in a basement. There were no windows, only a door with a letter combination lock. What could probably give him some hint was a note he found in the corner. What is the code word? Mark managed to get out of the basement. The code word was SMART. The key to this riddle was hidden in the alphabet. P plus 3 letters is S, N minus 1 letter is M, and so on. A police officer was patrolling the streets on a winter evening. Suddenly, she saw a person sneaking out of a house through a window with 2 large bags. The officer ran after the criminal, but the burglar must have hidden in one of these houses. Which one? It's not the house on the left. There are too many people inside. There are no footprints in the snow leading to the house on the right. No one has been there for quite some time. So, it's the house in the middle. There are 4 cups on the counter, all of them upturned and hiding the same number of sweets underneath. Near each of the cups, there's a sign that says how many sweets are under it. The signs are 5 or 6, 7 or 8, 6 or 7, and 7 or 5. Only one of these signs is correct. How many sweets are there under each cup? Since only one sign is correct, the right number can't appear twice. It means there are 8 sweets under each cup. After a bank had been robbed, the police found a bag with money in the park. It was lying among cacti. The police officer arrested 3 suspects. It didn't take long to figure out who the bank robber was. Do you know who it is? It's the man on the left. He's the only one with some scratches. They must have been left by the cacti. At a funeral, a woman lies in her coffin with one hand hanging out, holding a piece of chalk. On the floor, she managed to write just one letter, A. In front of her stand 3 pregnant women, Amy, Anna, and Ava. One of them must be behind what happened. But who? Look closely. Anna's bouquet looks a little strange. One of her flowers isn't a flower at all. It's the handle of a knife she tried to hide. After school, Emma has a strange feeling that someone's following her. She walks faster until she reaches her locker. Inside, there's a note written in red letters. It says, "Readers unite now." Can you figure out what it means? Divide the word into 3 rows, then read the first column vertically. It spells run. During a bungee jumping adventure, Lily is about to put on her safety gear when she suddenly falls. Oh no! A camera captures the moment and 3 people are nearby: her sister, her best friend, and the instructor. One of them pushed her. Who do you think it was? Let's see. The sister has both arms outstretched, but she's actually trying to grab Lily. The instructor is preparing the gear for a safe jump, but her best friend is trying way too hard to act innocent. He's the one who pushed Lily. David walks into an old haunted house. He steps into a dusty classroom, looks around, and laughs. Ha! There's nothing scary about this place. But suddenly, the lights flicker and the door slams shut behind him. He's trapped. On the blackboard, glowing numbers start to appear. He realizes he has to solve this puzzle to escape. Can you figure it out? Here's the trick. Each line adds the current sum to the previous result, so the answer is 36. After saying the answer out loud, David watches the numbers vanish from the board. But suddenly, a piece of chalk starts moving on its own, writing the word C over and over again. Now David's confused. He doesn't understand what's going on. Do you notice anything strange? Look closely. In the middle of all those C words, there's one that says C. Oh! This school's ghost must be telling him to look at something. Quickly, David turns around and spots two dusty mirrors, both showing his reflection, but something feels off. One of them isn't real. So which one shows the true reflection? Remember, the chalk was moving by itself. David never touched it, so the real reflection is the one that shows his empty hands. A jewelry store is robbed and the security camera catches the moment. But we can only see the thief's hand reaching for the jewels. The next day, the police bring in 3 suspects and ask them to show their hands. Can you tell who the thief is? It's suspect number 3. Look closely. There's a band-aid right where the thief's tattoo was during the robbery. He's just trying to cover it up. 2 pairs of twins walk into an eyewear store. Ruby and Rose pick these glasses. Oliver chooses his pair next. Now it's William's turn. Take a close look at the glasses. Which ones will he pick? There's a pattern, and it's not about matching with their twins. They're choosing the color of their glasses based on the first letter of their names. Ruby and Rose went for red. Oliver picked orange, so William will choose the white ones. A couple is on a road trip when suddenly they hear a loud noise. Lisa hits the brakes hard. She gets out of the car and runs to check what happened. Turns out the tire's flat. She shouts to her husband, "Brian, come here!" But he says he can't help. Why not? Lisa ran out of the car so fast she didn't realize she locked Brian in. He simply can't open the door. A university opened new teaching positions, but with one special rule. The new professors had to know how to write with their left hand. 3 candidates took the test and wrote a word on the board. The judges saw the middle one writing with his right hand and immediately disqualified him. But he swears he followed the rule. How is that possible? Well, the rule said teachers must know how to write with their left hand, but it never said they couldn't also use the right one. The candidate is ambidextrous, so he still qualifies for the job. Ford was waiting to see the doctor, but he was getting impatient. He started complaining nonstop to the young man sitting next to him. After a few minutes, he realized the guy hadn't said a single word. Ford got annoyed until the young man said, "Sorry, I couldn't hear you." Was he telling the truth? Yes, he was. We all saw the noise-canceling earbud in his right ear, but what Ford didn't know was that the young man was deaf in his left one. Uh-oh. A man is flying in a helicopter when the pilot suddenly passes out. There are 3 things he can do: try to fly it himself, use the emergency radio, or jump with an improvised parachute. What should he do? Don't panic. Trying to fly it alone is way too risky, and jumping with an improvised parachute is even worse. But the radio connects him to rescuers who can guide him safely. The best move is to call for help. A woman is in her office when a flower pot crashes down from the floor above. Someone tried to harm her. She looks up and sees 3 coworkers nearby: Clara, Mia, and Daniela. Who did it? Let's see. Clara and Mia just look shocked, but Daniela is turning away, hiding one of her hands behind her back. And it's covered in dirt. She's the one who pushed the pot. It's late at night when Sarah gets a call from her boss asking her to go to the office right away. She needs a last-minute babysitter for her daughter, so she calls her cousin. The young girl doesn't answer the phone, but texts back, "I can't, I'm not feeling well," and sends a picture to prove it. She's wearing cozy pajamas and looks pale, but Sarah immediately knows she's lying. How? Look closely. The photo's background shows daylight streaming through the window, but Sarah called her at night. The picture must have been taken on another day. A woman is climbing Mount Everest when a freezing wind hits her. She finds 3 items nearby: a blanket, a bottle, and a coat. Only one can save her life. Which should she choose? Think fast. The blanket is too thin, and the bottle has cold water in it, so it won't stop the chill. But the coat can protect her from the freezing wind and hypothermia. That's the right choice. Samuel has a secret date with his lover at a hotel. The only thing he knows is that she's somewhere on the 2nd floor, and her room number has 3 digits. But he's not sure which one. To keep anyone from finding out, she hid the room number inside their secret code. Can you figure it out? She's on the 2nd floor, so the room number must start with 2. The only 2 in the code is right here, followed by 5 and 6. That means her room is number 256. Dan and his wife are training for a marathon at the end of the month. Today was practice day. Dan left home at 1 p.m. His wife left half an hour later, and she runs twice as fast as he does. Yet, she never catches up. How is that possible? They're married, but they don't live in the same house. In fact, they were running in completely different cities. So of course, she was never going to catch up. And that's it for today's Mystery Marathon. So how many riddles did you get right? Tell us in the comments and challenge your friends to see if they can beat your score.
So, do you have the sharpest eye and a huge love for puzzles? Well then, I've got a real treat for your brain. Some fresh, crispy riddles to satisfy your intellectual hunger and test your attention to detail. 3 friends go on a summer trip around Europe together. They meet 3 girls and tell them about themselves. Steve says he has a business empire back in the US. John claims he's just inherited several $1 million. Jake mentions he is a successful athlete, but only one of them is actually rich. Can you figure out who? Well, it's tricky to tell, but looks like Jake is the one who's really well off. He has a watch made of gold, and it looks pretty legit. There are two customers inside a jewelry store when the light goes off for a second, whoops, and the most massive golden necklace disappears. Can you guess who stole it? It was the girl holding the flowers. Look, the necklace is hiding inside her bouquet. Adam is about to go out and celebrate his birthday, when suddenly he slips on a banana peel, no really, and loses his memory. Three girls show up at his house and claim to be his wife. He must be a really popular man. But of course, only one girl really is his wife. Can you figure out which one? Although she looks pretty hostile and didn't bring a gift, the girl number 2 is his wife. Adam and she have the same wedding rings. Nancy and Liza are sitting on the same beach in the park. They are around the same age, but live very different lives. One of them is loaded, and another one has other priorities. So, who looks rich here? Nancy must have spent a lot of money on plastic surgeries to look like this. And that designer bag casually standing behind her also costs a fortune. Mr. Potter hired 3 new security guards for his company. He came to meet them in person as they would be responsible for his expensive equipment. At that moment, he realized there was one impostor among them. Can you point him out? It's the guy in the middle. He looks just like the others, except the word security is misspelled on his uniform. 3 girls are getting ready for a night out. They're doing their makeup and chatting, but one of them is actually hiding a secret. She might feel like a woman, but she's physically a man. Do you see who it is? The first person is a man who's hiding their Adam's apple behind the scarf. Rita went to the countryside to enjoy some peace and quiet. She was watching 7 beautiful birds sitting on a fence when suddenly she heard a loud bang out of nowhere. Someone was shooting at the birds. How many of them are left on the fence now? Zero. Luckily, they all flew away when they heard the noise. 2 sisters are hitchhiking in Italy. No one wanted to pick them up for a while, but a truck finally stopped and the driver promised to take them to Rome in no time. The sisters are happy at first. But then, one of them notices something on the road and tells her sister they need to get out of that truck. What did they see? The road sign said Rome was 100 kilometers away when they got in the truck. The next sign they noticed said it was 212 kilometers away, so they're going in the opposite direction from it. Someone stole an important document from Piper's desk. She interrogates 3 of her colleagues who could have done it. Nash says, "I spent the whole morning preparing the monthly report and didn't even stand up once." Emma says, "I walked past your desk, but only to get some cappuccino from your machine." Ben claims he just arrived and didn't even know about any important papers. Who's lying here? Emma. There's a coffee maker behind Piper's desk, but it doesn't make cappuccino. A famous singer is on vacation at a luxurious resort. There, she meets a handsome guy who is flirting with her. She feels relaxed and tells him many of her secrets. Suddenly, her bodyguard approaches the singer and tells her she shouldn't trust the guy. Why? It's sweet that the guy has a teddy bear with him, but those red lights inside the bear's eyes are hidden cameras. The guy was filming the entire conversation, and who knows what he can use it for. Someone robbed the designer watch section at a busy mall. The criminal couldn't make it out of the mall because they noticed security looking for them. They ran into a fancy dress boutique. Can you find the criminal here? Well, even if the person in the middle has really big feet, they wouldn't try on a fancy dress with dirty sneakers. The criminal must be there. Someone kidnapped 3 women in one town, one by one. All the girls say they don't remember anything, but in the morning, the criminal would drop them off at the same place, seemingly unharmed, but their hair got a bit shorter. When the criminal grabs the 4th girl, the police follow them and break into their house. There, they instantly understand why he needed the girls. Do you see it? Looks like this guy has a collection of miniature dolls, and he needed the girls' hair to make the dolls more realistic. Come on, really? Sarah has saved up enough money to open her own hair studio. She wants to buy an office in a new building for it. She has 2 final options. One is smaller and less chic, but it's ready. The other is way larger and looks more expensive, but she'd have to wait a bit. Which one should she choose? Well, Sarah must have a lot of patience if she chooses the second option. It says, approximate completion date 2055. Well, she had better bring a big lunch. Miranda went to an innovation conference and met 3 cool guys there. They were all charming, but something felt wrong about one of them. Miranda figured out it was not a real person, but a robot from the conference. How did she guess? That guy is charging his phone through a cable connected to his leg. Humans don't have that superpower yet, although I wouldn't mind testing it. James is a little obsessed with the idea of becoming the richest person in the world. One day, he meets an old woman who claims she has magical powers and can make any wish come true. But he has to wish for someone else, not for himself. Still, James managed to trick the old lady and have things his way. What did he wish for? He wished for his parents to have the richest son in the world. Clever. Leslie was window shopping when she saw her husband Nick inside one of the clothing stores. She got confused because he was supposed to be at work, so she went inside to confront him. Nick said he was picking up an outfit for his company's end-of-the-year party. But Leslie didn't believe him and understood he was cheating on her. How did she know? Leslie could see a woman hiding behind the curtains in the fitting room, and Nick had a lipstick stain on his shirt. There were 3 thefts at a local supermarket, one in January, one in April, and one in June. The security camera recorded footage of all 3 situations. A private detective looked through that footage and immediately figured out who the criminal was. Can you? In all three videos, there is a pregnant lady, and her belly looks exactly the same size in January, April, and June. That's physically impossible, and it means that she was the thief. She must have been faking the pregnancy all along. So, did you manage to solve all the riddles, or did they manage to trick you instead? Tell me in the comments below.
Hey aspiring detectives, are you ready to look for clues and solve some mysteries? Alright then, let's start. It's a busy day on the highway, and everyone is trying to stay entertained the way they can. These two ladies are no exception, and although both of their activities look pretty risky, only one of them is in real danger. Who is it? Lady A is in danger as she's driving and putting her lipstick on at the same time. Lady B is enjoying her dumplings, but since she's just a passenger, it's not a problem. A couple in love wants to order a wedding cake but can't decide which chef to choose. So, they decide to bring them together and ask them to bake a cake to see who's better. Both cakes seem to be really good, but it looks like one of the chefs is really dangerous. Which chef is it? Oops, Chef B has blood on his sleeve. That can't be a good sign. There are 3 people in the park. 2 of them look pretty freaky to me, but only one is super dangerous and can cause some serious trouble to others. Who is it? Okay, the girl with a bulky stick could be up to some trouble, and the guy looks freaky. But the real danger is this sweet-looking lady with a puppy. She's using this fluffy guy to hide a grenade she's tied around her neck. Secret Agent Jackson's mission brought him to a basement of a creepy building with 3 doors leading out of it. Behind the first door, there's boiling hot lava. Behind the second door, there's a psycho killer dressed as a clown. And behind the third door, the temperature is -50. Which door should the agent choose to escape? Looks like the third door is the right one. You can definitely survive that temperature with the right clothes. 2 divers are doing what they love the most, exploring the underwater world. But oh no, one of them is in extreme danger. Who is it? The diver in the first picture is in real immediate danger. There's a shark behind them and no one to come to the rescue. Yes, there's also a shark behind the second diver, but there's a submarine with other people to rescue this human. Miranda is applying for a really great job and she has to solve several riddles to land the position. Can you help her? The first riddle is, ask this question all day long, but always get completely different answers, and yet all the answers will be correct. What is the question? The question is, what time is it? The second riddle is even more philosophical. What is more useful when it's broken? Alright, nothing philosophical here. It's actually just an egg. You break it to cook it. 2 down, 1 more to go, and Miranda gets the dream job. A cowboy rode into town on Friday. He stayed for 3 nights and rode out on Friday. How is this possible? No need to do complicated math here. His horse's name is Friday. Someone left an expensive watch at the hotel reception. 3 people claim it's theirs. Can you help the hotel worker figure out whose watch it really is? The First Lady does have a watch tan line, but it's much wider than the lost watch. This man already has a watch on his left hand. Why would he wear another one? The watch must belong to the elderly lady. Lena was skydiving when a strong gust of wind brought her to the forest. She landed among trees with no food or water. Soon she saw 4 roads in front of her. One led to a supermassive black hole that swallowed everything that got close. The second road ended in a sea full of sharks. The third led to a mountain that was impossible to climb over. And the fourth road ended in a bottomless abyss. Which road should Lena take? She should follow the third road. She can just go around that mountain. Bob was walking home late in the evening when he saw a young woman unconscious on the ground. He found her phone and called the first person on her call list, Anna. He said her friend was unconscious and she said she'd be there right away. She arrived before the police, and when they were there, they instantly arrested Anna. Why? Bob didn't tell Anna where to go, yet she arrived really fast. How did she know the address if she hadn't been the one who did it? Jen lost her card holder at the airport check-in stand. She suspects the agents who were checking her in and the cleaner who was nearby. But they both deny everything as they were busy doing their work. So, who took Jen's card holder? No one. Jen must be really nervous before the flight. She didn't notice putting her card holder in the outer pocket of her carry-on backpack. Tom is at a corporate party. His boss brings a bunch of identical envelopes and tells him she personally put a certificate for a trip to Hawaii in one of the envelopes. Tom really wants to go there with his girlfriend. Can you help him identify the right envelope? Look, his boss has plenty of sparkle on her face and hands. And only one envelope has the same sparkles on it. It must be the right one. Brittany is at her cousin's wedding and she's about to make a toast, but she forgets the name of her cousin's husband. She really wants to mention it in her toast. Can you help her out? His name is Derek. See that wedding poster on the far left corner of the room? Sheila and Derek, together forever. Aww. Bet just met a man of her dreams. He's handsome, smart, generous, and he seems to be very in love with her. The only weird thing about him is how he keeps bragging about his house, which is super luxurious. Once Bet agrees to visit. He hesitates, but after a few minutes, says she can come Thursday evening. Once at the house, Bet notices something really weird. What is it? There's a price list for anyone who wants to rent the house, and it's more expensive during the weekend. That's why the man invited her on Thursday. Oops. Mimi wants to get a smoothie at a buffet breakfast. It's in a foreign country, and for some reason, there's no English translation of the list of ingredients and allergens. Mimi can't eat strawberries, so it's important for her to avoid them. Which smoothie is safe for her to drink? This green one definitely doesn't have any strawberries in it. These berries would give it a red or at least a pinkish shade. The pink and purple smoothies could be risky. Someone locked Diego up in a tiny room with only one exit. The door is locked, but he can open it using a code. He doesn't know the code, but there's a little note next to the door that should help him. So, what's the code? There are 4 stars on that little piece of paper. The first one has 3 rays, the second has 6 rays, and the third one 7. And finally, the fourth one has 5 rays. So, the correct code is 3675.
Let's get our brains warmed up with 3 quick math questions. So tell me, what's the answer to this equation? The result is 20. How about this one? -8. Well done! I can guarantee you that the equation below is correct. But how? Well, it's just upside down. If you flip it, it becomes 16 equals 8 plus 8. And that's totally correct. Well, the warm-up is done. Now let's get to the real challenges. Ella shot 12 arrows at a target. She hit the center 3 times. She's pretty good. One time she almost missed, but it still counted as a hit. All the other shots were misses. So, how many points did she score in total? Hitting the center gives her 3 points. She hit it 3 times, so that's 9 points. That one shot where she almost missed landed in the blue zone. That's 1 more point. So in total, she scored 10 points. Next one. What should you add to 55,555 to get 500? Well, you should add a minus sign right here. Pay close attention to this image. Can you guess the number of the parking spots that these cars are in? Look at the first few numbers. 2, 3, 5. We're dealing with prime numbers here, right? If we keep the sequence going, it means that the red car is in spot 7, the green car is in 11, and the yellow car is parked in 17. Now, you're only allowed to use times and minus signs. Where would you put them to make this equation work? The answer is 9 times 8 minus 7 minus 65, and boom, you get 0. That's a similar one, but this time you're only allowed to use division and addition signs. Where would you put them to make this equation work? And the solution is 4 plus 4 plus 8 divided by 4 equals 10. Ben knows that there are some squirrels hidden in his yard. Each squirrel gathers 6 acorns every day. There's a pile with more than 50 acorns in it. At least how many squirrels must be hidden in his yard? If each squirrel gathers 6 acorns, then 8 squirrels would gather 48. That's not enough. But 9 squirrels would gather 54 acorns, so there must be at least 9 squirrels around him. Now check out this equation. If watermelons are worth 0 and oranges are worth 1, what's the result? If you swap the fruits for numbers, you get 1 plus 1 times 0 plus 1. And since multiplication comes first, that gives you a total of 2. A factory makes a $20 profit for each t-shirt it produces and sells. So how many t-shirts do they need to sell to make $5,000 in profit? Yep, they need to sell 250 t-shirts. Now check out these numbers: 2, 3, 10, 12. Can you figure out the next one? Well, it's really not about calculations. It has to do with the first letter of each number. They all start with the letter T. So, following this sequence, the next number is 13. Alright, time to play true or false. First sentence. The fractions 3/4 is the same as 75%. Is it true or false? True, nailed it! Next up, any number raised to the power of 0 equals 0. What do you think, true or false? And that's false. Any number to the power of 0 is actually 1, not 0. One more. Ready? 30% of 50 is the same as 50% of 30. Is this sentence true or false? They both equal 15, so yep, this sentence is true. There are 2 kittens, and some weights are sitting on a scale. The scale is perfectly balanced. So, how much does one kitten weigh? On the left side, we've got 3 weights, 4, 5, and 4. Add them up, that's 13 units. On the right side, there are 2 kittens and a weight of 5. If the total is 13, then the 2 kittens together must weigh 8. So each kitten weighs 4 units. Are you fast at math? Then tell me, what is the last number that will appear at the end of this path? The last number is 6. Jennifer wants to snoop through her boyfriend's phone. He agreed, but only if she manages to guess the password. And the clue is MCMXCII. Can you help Jennifer figure out his 4-digit code? Well, we're talking Roman numerals here, and MCMXCII is the same as 1992. Phone unlocked. Can you tell which number doesn't belong here? The number 7 is the only odd one. And how about this table? What's the strange number? "21 is the odd one out. It's not a multiple of 4. 3 bananas are on a table. A regular banana costs 2 coins. A Minecraft banana costs 1 coin more than the regular banana. A diamond banana costs twice as much as the Minecraft banana. So, which banana is the most expensive and how much does each one cost? The most expensive one is the diamond banana. If the regular one costs 2 coins, that means the Minecraft banana costs 3 coins and the diamond banana costs 6. Kevin was 31 when his daughter Amanda turned 8. Now he is twice as old as she is. How old is Amanda? If her father is twice as old as her, Amanda must be 23. Dan is a translator, and he gets paid based on the number of words in the original text. He makes $3 per word. So how much will he get for the following translation? Remember, the number of words in Portuguese doesn't matter. Only the original English word count is used to calculate payment. If he earns $3 per word, he's going to make $24. Now, if we multiply the number of tails that every cat in the world has, what is the result? Time's up. The answer is 0, because at least one cat in the world doesn't have a tail. Lisa and David have $100 in total, and we know Lisa has $40 more than David. So, how much does each have? David has $30 and Lisa has $70. Take a good look at this puzzle. Can you figure out the value of the blue gift box? Well, let's see. If 3 green gifts cost 30 coins, that means each one is worth 10. So the red box must be worth 20. Following that logic, the 2 blue gifts together cost $10, so each one is worth 5. A swimming pool gets filled in 4 hours using 2 hoses. What if you only have 1 hose? How long will it take to fill the same pool? Think about it like this. 2 hoses together do the job in 4 hours. So each hose is doing half the work, right? If you use just 1 hose, it's going to take twice as long. So the answer is 8 hours. Frank only has 3 socks, 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 green. He reaches into a dark drawer and grabs 2. What are the chances they match? Zero. Frank has only 1 of each color, remember? A teacher has 3 kids, William, Karen, and Linda. William is 2 years old. Karen is 3 times William's age, and Linda is half of Karen's age. Can you guess how old the 2 girls are? Karen is 6 and Linda is 3. A snail climbs 3 feet during the day and slides down 2 feet at night. How many days will it take to escape a 10-foot wall? Let's see. Each day, the snail gains 1 foot. After 7 days, it's at 7 feet. On the 8th day, it climbs from 7 to 10 feet and escapes before sliding. So the answer is 8 days. A motorcyclist was riding into the city. On the way, he passed 5 cars and a truck coming towards him. How many vehicles were going to the city? Only 1. The motorcyclist was the only one going to the city. You ordered a pizza for dinner for 8 people. How many times do you need to cut the pizza to get 8 slices? Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we have 8 slices. All right, dig in. 3 women are sharing a table at a fancy gala, but one of them is secretly on the run from the police. Can you look at the picture and find the impostor? The first woman, dressed in red, is holding a glamorous clutch bag and elegant earrings. The second is using designer high heels and a very expensive-looking necklace. The third one looks pretty in pink, but hey, look at her right ankle. There's a clear tan line around her ankle that kind of gives away the ankle monitor she had on until recently. She's on the run for sure. Bex recently got engaged. To celebrate, she gifted her fiancé with tickets to a famous pop star's concert. Since they work on opposite sides of town, they decided to meet directly at the venue. Take a look at that crowd dancing in the VIP area. Can you figure out who Bex's fiancé is? It's that blonde guy in the middle. He and Bex have got matching tattoos. He's the one. Maeve quit her job and decided to travel the world. Her first destination was Paris. She just arrived and looked for the first hostel she could find. But, she really shouldn't go inside this place. Take a look at the image. Can you figure out why? This hostel is haunted. There's the shadow of a ghost on the top window. I definitely wouldn't go in. Sarah was invited for brunch with her new colleagues from work. She recently started working at a tech company. She arrived at the restaurant but didn't see any of her colleagues. Instead, she saw a weird-looking robot. How could she tell that it was really a robot? I know it looks like a person, but hey, look at its wrists. It has USB ports on both of them. Inside a high-security prison, 3 men were eager to escape. The first one was trying to break the cell bars. The second was working out every day to get strong. The last one was quietly reading a book. Can you tell which one might have a chance at escaping? It's the one reading a book. He knows that none of the other prisoners are going to make it. By reading books, he might get an answer on how to escape. A doctor rushed into the emergency room and saw that there were 2 patients waiting for urgent treatment. The man on the left was a tech billionaire, and the lady on the right was a grandmother to 5 children. He needed to think fast who he would save. Who should he choose? He should choose the grandmother. The man on the left has a phone next to him. He could call someone else for help. A thief broke into a renowned artist's studio and stole a rare painting. He didn't manage to get too far, though, because a security patrol passed by while he was escaping. The thief stashed the painting under a thick bush and hid behind a nearby wall. Take a look at the picture. Which of these 2 guys stole the painting? If you crawl through a bush with bare arms, they'll most likely get scratched. Take a look at that second guy's arms. They're covered in scratches. He must be the culprit. Ava got into a serious accident during the weekend. She got a concussion and broke her leg. Still, the very next day, one of her friends saw her riding a bicycle in the park and she looked fine. How is that possible? Look, the girl who got into a car accident has a tattoo on her ankle. The girl on the bike doesn't. The girl who was riding the bike was Ava's twin sister, Malva. Ben and Paula were watching the Riddle channel at home. They got into a heated discussion about who would survive such a dangerous prank. Take a look at the image. Who do you think has the biggest chance at survival? It's the lady trapped with the snakes. I know it sounds dangerous, but the snakes are small and not poisonous. These are Julia and Jane. They are both very attractive young women who have no trouble finding boyfriends. Today is Valentine's Day, and they're both going out with their loved ones. One of them is currently dating 3 people, though, so she's probably going to run from date to date. Just by looking at this image, can you tell which one it is? It's Jane, the one on the left. If you look at her workstation, she's got 3 presents lined up, one for each person she's currently seeing. Anna and Barbara are cleaners at a fancy hotel. The hotel manager received a call saying that one of them had stolen precious jewelry from one of the guests. Take a look at the image. Can you figure out who did it? It was Anna. If you look closely, there's a shiny diamond inside that cleaning bucket. Uh-oh. Olivia was running a marathon. Right before the finish line, she did her best and outran the person who was running in second place. The woman was happy and excited she was going to win. But in a few seconds, she was very disappointed. Why? Because Olivia finished in second place when she wanted to finish first. This is what happened. She was fast enough to outrun the person who was going to win second place. but she wasn't fast enough to outrun the person who finished first. But hey, it's a good result anyway. Lila got an invitation to join a pop-up riddle show. She was excited to win, but when the host asked her the question, she froze. He asked her how many numbers were on a clock. Can you help her figure it out? The real answer here is 15. Here's the trick. Numbers like 10, 11, and 12 are made up of smaller digits. If you count clockwise, you actually have these digits: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 0, 1, 1, and 1, 2. Add them all up, and you've got 15. A car crashed into a restaurant window and drove straight inside. The owner was horrified and called the cops to investigate. There are two main suspects, Julia and Bernard. Each of them claims it was the other person who is the culprit. Take a look at the image. Can you figure out who is lying? It's Julia. If you pay attention to the tire tracks, you'll see that they're the same pattern as Julia's tires. She's the one who did it. Dan enrolled in a photography class. For his latest assignment, he needed to take a landscape picture and present it to the class. But Dan didn't have time to do the assignment, so he decided to Photoshop an image and show it in class. The teacher and students immediately saw that the picture wasn't real. How could they tell? Well, because the image has two suns. That's not natural, at least not on planet Earth. Carly and her boyfriend traveled to Chicago for the first time ever. They spent the entire day sightseeing and decided to stop for a while on a park bench to rest. Take a look at the picture. Who is Carly's boyfriend? It's the guy on the left. He's wearing the same t-shirt she's wearing. During the office's end-of-year party, Heather and Tim kissed under the mistletoe, and it became the talk of the company. The next month, everyone was still talking about it near the coffee machine. Take a look at the image and try to guess which two people kissed under the mistletoe. I bet those eagle eyes spotted that two of them were wearing a similar pendant. On the left, you can see Tim, the guy with half of a heart-shaped necklace. And then on the right, Heather is the girl wearing a bracelet with the same pendant. Aww.
Look at this picture attentively. One of these people doing planks isn't human. Can you figure out which one it is? It's the man on the right. Even though he seems to have a perfectly human reaction, he has two left hands. Weird. Now, how about these two ladies? Which of them is dangerous? The worker behind the lady on the left indicates that it's too dangerous to stand so close to the edge. So, this woman isn't dangerous, she is in danger. As for the woman on the right, she seems to be scared of the arriving train, but in fact, she is dangerous. Look at her belly. She's not pregnant. She's hiding something under her clothes. This scene looks like something from a nightmare. But once you get used to this spider woman, can you figure out who the prey is? It's actually the female monster. The man has a lasso to catch her. These two people seem to be in grave danger, but in reality, one of them is safe. Which one is it? Looking at the rope holding the man, it's tearing apart, so he's in danger. The woman is safe, at least physically. Now we have these two lovely grannies. Which of them is dangerous? What do you think? Look at the granny on the right. Her reflection is actually ahead of time, applying lipstick, while the real granny is just holding it in her hand. This granny is dangerous. The other just likes tartar, I'd say. I have a thing on my mind. It's super easy to lift, but hard to throw. Can you guess what it is? It's a feather. Do you know something that has 88 keys? It might sound exotic, but this thing is just a piano. I bet this riddle will make you think. Listen attentively. If there are 12 $5 coins in a dozen, how many $10 coins are in a dozen? 10, 12, 15, or 5? The correct answer is 12, since a dozen always has 12 elements. In a 7-story building, the higher the floor is, the more people live there. Based on this information, what floor does the elevator go to most often? The second, fourth, first, or seventh? If you have answered that the elevator goes to the first floor most often, you're absolutely right. Residents from all the floors must go to the first floor at some point. Almost all people have 10 fingers on both hands. Now, answer very fast. How many fingers are there on 10 hands? Even though it seems that the correct answer is 100, it's actually 50. If you disagree, find 10 hands and count each finger. A man says, "Everything I say is a lie." Does he tell the truth? Does he lie? Or is it impossible to figure it out? The man lies. Because if it was indeed the case, then at least one of his statements that he always lies would be true, and it creates a logical paradox. Look at these people. They seem to be sound asleep. But one of them has just sneaked into their bed. Which one is it? It's the girl on the right. She's forgotten to take off her heels. A security guard stops these women before they leave the store. He's sure that one of them is a thief. Look at them attentively and try to figure out which one is a criminal. It's the woman on the right. She's the only one wearing comfortable footwear, most likely for a fast escape. Mark and Amy were parents to a teenager called Jacob. One day, Mark's laptop disappeared, and nobody in the house could find it. They called the police. When a detective arrived and searched the place, he found a note on Mark's desk. It was written by Jacob. The note read, "Wow." The detective immediately figured out who had taken the laptop. Can you crack this case too? It was Amy. If you turn the note upside down, it'll read Mom. An archaeologist is exploring an ancient cave in an isolated area. When he's about to leave, the front part of the cave collapses. The man immediately runs inside to save his life. He sees 3 tunnels. Only one leads to safety. The first tunnel is filled with giant mice. The second is home to 12 grizzly bears. The third tunnel leads to a lake swarming with hungry sharks. Which tunnel should he enter? Even though it's not the most pleasant solution, the safest option is the tunnel with mice. They don't attack humans. Mary went to a spa to have a massage. At one point, she dozed off. When it was time to pay, Mary discovered that her money was missing. There were 3 people who could have taken the money. The first employee said that she'd had her lunch at the back of the salon. The second employee claimed she had gone to the storage room to get some massage oil. And another customer explained that she'd been waiting for her turn to get a massage. Who is lying? The second employee. Why would she need to go to the storage if she has a few bottles of oil right there on the table? How good are you at math? We'll see in a moment. If A plus A equals B, B plus B equals D, A plus D equals E, then how much is B plus D plus E equal to? It's the letter K, which equals 11. All these letters represent their positions in the alphabet. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, D equals 4, and E equals 5. 2 plus 4 plus 5 equals 11. And that's the letter K. Thomas loved asking his friends to solve all kinds of funny riddles. If they answered correctly, he helped them with whatever they had problems with. One day, Daniel came to Thomas and asked for help with his math exam. He knew the rules though. He had to solve one riddle first. What kind of running leads to walking? Thomas asked. Do you know the correct answer? Daniel said, running out of gas. And he was right. So Thomas helped him right away. Detective Lawson was working on a tricky case. One day, he vanished. His colleagues found an encrypted note on his desk. It looked like this. The officers knew Lawson had 3 suspects, Milana, Susan, and Emily. Which of them knows something about the detective's disappearance? After some time, one of the police officers cracked the code. D plus 1 equals E, L plus 1 equals M, and so on. It was Emily who knew where the detective was. Can you figure out which of these girls lacks common sense? Well, neither of them is the brightest bulb in the chandelier. The one on the left is going to post a photo of her credit card on her social media. And the one on the right is going to share the details of her ID and plane ticket with her followers. That's incredibly unsafe. Welcome back to our show. Before the break, Mr. Sanders here made it to our grand finale. How do you feel, Mr. Sanders? Nervous. Okay, now to win the main prize of $1 million, all you have to do is name 100 words that do not contain the letter A in 90 seconds. Start the clock. Can you help Mr. Sanders win the prize? He just needs to start counting really fast from 1 to 100. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There is no letter A in any of these numbers. Check for yourself. Laura had 2 admirers. One day, she urgently needed cash. But both men told her they didn't want to give her money. At the same time, they promised to buy her whatever she wanted. How did the young lady get out of the situation? Laura brought her first admirer to a clothing store where she chose an expensive coat. The man paid and they both left. The next day, the lady came to the same place with her second admirer and acquired the same coat. The third time, she visited the store herself in order to return one of the purchases. Voila! Neither of her admirers was going to suspect her of returning his gift, and she had the cash she needed.
I bet you know how to handle matchsticks, but how can you move just one of them to make the equation correct? Can you figure it out? You should move the top left stick that is part of the 9. This way, the 9 will turn into a 3 and the remaining matchstick will become the minus sign. Look at this picture. Lots of seemingly random numbers, right? Well, your task is to find out what number is missing in the middle. The missing number is 8. You see, the same rule works for each pair of numbers that are opposite each other in the circle. If you add one of them to the center number, it's the same as subtracting the center number from the other one. Imagine you've got a box with marbles. All but 2 are blue. All but 2 are green and all but 2 are red. How many marbles are there in the box? There are just 3 marbles, 1 blue, 1 green, and 1 red. Now, another tricky task for you. Can you continue this sequence? 77, 49, 36, 18. Each subsequent number is the product of the digits of the previous one, which means that the next number in the series will be 8. You're 10 feet away from the door to your house, and with each step, you cover half the distance to the door. How many steps will it take you to reach the door? I've got some sad news for you. You will never reach the door. If you only cover half the distance every time you move, then you will always have half the distance remaining, no matter how small the number is. Now, how do you divide 188 in half so that you get 100? A small hint. Try to think outside the box. Draw a horizontal line across the middle of this number, dividing 188 in half. Here, you've got your 100. Let's play with matchsticks some more. Just kidding. Never play with matchsticks. Anyway, move just one stick so that the equation becomes correct. Here's what you need to do. Easy, huh? Now you have 4 matchsticks arranged like this. Your task is to move just one of them to form a square. Here's the answer. You move this matchstick and get this tiny square in the middle. In this puzzle, you can only move 4 matches to turn this big arrow into 2 smaller ones. That's what you need to do. Now, how about using some logic? A circle has 2, a point has 0, and a sphere has 3. What am I talking about? Right, it's all about dimensions. In the evening, there are very few cakes left in the bakery. These 2 pieces of cake on the top shelf, orange and chocolate, cost $7. There are 3 pieces of cake on the middle shelf, 2 chocolate and 1 orange. And together, they cost $12. And finally, there is 1 piece of orange cake on the bottom shelf. How much does it cost? Its price is $2. How much will a 50-degree angle measure if you look at it through a microscope that magnifies objects 5 times? The angle won't change, it'll still be 50 degrees. Back to matchsticks, but the task is different. Move just 1 stick in order to solve the mathematical equation below. Here's how it goes. Did you get it right? You have 5 pieces of chain, each made up of 3 links. You have to make a long chain out of these 5 pieces. Welding an open link will cost you $3, and breaking a link open is $1. Can you make a long chain if you have only $15? First, take 1 piece of chain and break all of its 3 links open. It'll cost you $3. Then, link the remaining 4 pieces of the chain with these open links. Welding these links will cost you another $9. In total, you'll only pay $12. Now, how fast will you solve the answer to this riddle? The correct answer is 14. Each letter is worth 2 points. How can you move from 98 to 720 by using just 1 letter? Add the letter X between 90 and 8. You'll get 90x 8 equals 720. Easy as that. Will you believe me if I tell you I can read your mind? Think of a number. Keep it simple, you'll have to do a bit of math here. And you may probably need a calculator to play this guessing game with me. So, you think of a number. Now multiply it by 3. Done? Okay, now add 6. Next step, you need to divide this number by 3. Now subtract the number you thought of from the resulting number. Let me guess, in the end you got 2, right? There's no magic involved here. It's just a smart math riddle, and it works with any number. You can check. A hen and a half lay an egg and a half in a day and a half. How many eggs will half a dozen hens lay in half a dozen days? You'll get 24 eggs. If there are 4 times more hens and they have 4 times more days, they will lay 16 times more eggs. 16 times 1.5 equals 24 eggs. A baby giraffe doubled in height every month till it reached its dad's size. It took 10 months. How many months did it take the baby giraffe to grow half its current height? Nine months. because the animal doubled in height every next month. Two whole positive numbers have a 2-digit answer when added and a 1-digit answer when multiplied. What are these numbers? They're 1 and 9. A man says, "My daughter is 5 times as old as my son. My wife is 5 times as old as my daughter. I'm twice as old as my wife, and my grandfather, who celebrated his 81st birthday yesterday, is as old as all of us together." How old is his daughter? She's 5. These geese were going to the watering hole in a single file, one after another. One goose looked ahead and saw that there were 17 birds in front of him. He looked back. He had 42 paws following him. How many geese were there? There were 39 birds altogether. 17 were in front, 21 behind. And don't forget the goose who counted. How many triangles can you spot in this picture? There are 6 of them. Here they are. Take a look. Now, look at this picture attentively. How many ducks are there? Altogether, there are 14 ducks in this picture. Have you noticed those mini ones in the bottom row? How about this image? Can you spot a sunflower among all these bees? Here it is in the bottom left corner. Look at these equations and try to figure out which number is missing. It might not be obvious at first sight, but you gotta follow this pattern. Multiply the first 2 numbers and then multiply the result by their sum. So 3 times 4 equals 12. 12 times 3 plus 4 equals 12 times 7 equals 84. The answer is 84. Now look at this picture attentively and try to find the odd one. A tiny hint. Emotions matter. The odd face is in the bottom left corner. Unlike the others, this man is smiling. Can you spot the odd one among all these 8s? There's an ampersand hiding among the rest of the numbers. See it? How about this picture? What doesn't fit here? That's a yellow pear in the bottom left corner. There's something weird about this picture. Can you figure out what it is? Look at the rear wheel of the bike that's leading the way. It's shaped not like it should be. How is this guy even riding his poor bike?
Got your brain working? Okay, let's warm up first. Look at this picture carefully and try to figure out what's wrong with it. Uh-oh, there's a parrot in the fish tank. Now look at these beautiful young ladies. They all seem pretty well off, but one of them is truly rich. Can you figure out which one it is? It's the girl on the left. She has a Ferrari, which means she's loaded. An ice cream seller has two types of ice cream, chocolate and vanilla. The chocolate ice cream costs $2 for a scoop, while the vanilla ice cream is $1. Each customer is allowed to have only one scoop. Mary gives the seller $2. The man immediately gives her a scoop of the chocolate treat. But when Ben comes up to the seller and gives him $2, the man asks him what ice cream he wants. Why? Mary gave the seller two $1 bills, so it was obvious what she wanted. But Ben gave the seller just one $2 bill, so the man had to clarify which ice cream the guy wanted. One day, Leo's friends asked him whether he had any siblings. The man answered that he had a brother. When he was 6 years old, his brother was half his age. And then Leo decided to see how smart his friends were. They needed to figure out how old his brother was now that Leo himself was 40. Do you know the answer? It's actually quite simple. When Leo was 6, his brother was half his age, meaning he was 3. In other words, the age difference between them is 3 years. So if Leo is 40 now, his brother is 40 minus 3 equals 37 years old. 3 athletes are lined up at the starting line of a canoeing competition. Can you figure out which of these athletes is going to come first? The third athlete is going to arrive first. He is the most prepared of them all. The other two are just amateurs. The first one has the oar turned upside down, and the second isn't wearing a cap or glasses. During a physical education class, students lined up to form 2 volleyball teams. That's when Miguel noticed something curious. He was both the 6th from the left and the 6th from the right of the line. Based on this information, can you figure out how many students are in the line? If Miguel is the 6th from each side, there must be 5 students to his left and 5 to his right. So we get 5 students on the left plus Miguel plus 5 people on the right equals 11 students in total. 3 women are in the fitting rooms of a maternity clothing store. They all claim to be pregnant and are trying on loose, comfortable dresses. However, one of them is lying. Considering that only their feet are visible beneath the fitting room curtains, can you figure out which of them isn't pregnant? The woman in the third fitting room is not pregnant. Pregnant women typically avoid wearing high heels for comfort and safety reasons, so her shoes likely mean she is just faking it. These 5 bags of gold look identical. Each of them has 10 gold pieces, but one of the 5 bags contains fake gold. The real gold and fake gold are identical in every way, except the weight. Each piece of fake gold weighs 1.1 ounce, while a piece of real gold weighs 1 ounce. You have a perfectly accurate digital scale, but you can use it only once. How can you determine which bag has the fake gold? You should take 1 gold piece from the first bag, 2 from the second bag, 3 from the third bag, 4 from the fourth bag, and 5 from the fifth bag. If the number on the scale ends in 0.1, you'll know that the first bag contains the fake gold. If the number ends in 0.2, then the fake gold is in the second bag, and so on. Ooh, that's smart! Marshall, Ted, Barney, and Robin were in Robin's house. Suddenly, the lights went out, and one of the boys kissed Robin. Robin asked them who it was. Marshall said Ted had done it. Ted said Marshall was lying, and Barney said he hadn't done it. Just one of the guys told the truth. Can you figure out who kissed the girl? Barney kissed Robin, and Ted is the only person who is telling the truth. If Marshall's statement was true, then the last statement would be true too, which is against the rules. If Barney's statement was true, then one of the other two statements would be true as well. So it means Ted is the only person telling the truth. But I think the bigger question is, did Robin kiss him back? But I digress. Lisa was preparing for an extremely difficult exam for a week, surviving on a few hours of sleep and large amounts of caffeine. After passing her exam successfully, she fell asleep and slept for a really long time. When she eventually woke up, she couldn't figure out what time it was – 7 a.m., 3 p.m., or 11 p.m. Please help the girl understand what time of day it was. The streetlights are still on, but it's not very dark outside, so it must be 11 p.m. Julia asked her boyfriend Kyle to go to the supermarket to buy some groceries and gave him a shopping list. When Kyle arrived at the store, he looked at the list and got pretty confused. What is this last item Kyle needs to buy? Eggs. He needs to buy eggs. Kevin wasn't doing particularly well. He lost his job and was trying to find a new one unsuccessfully. Look at the guy's room and try to figure out how many job interviews he has already attended. Look, there are 6 Post-it notes on the calendar. It means he has already been to 6 interviews. Anyway, good luck, Kevin! 3 brothers lived on a farm. One day they decided to buy new seeds, and 2 of them, Mark and Tom, headed for the market, while Ben stayed behind to look after the fields. Mark bought 75 sacks of wheat seeds, and Tom bought 45. When they returned home, they divided the sacks equally. Ben paid $1,400. How much money do Mark and Tom get from this sum? We know each farmer got 1/3 of 120 sacks, which is 40 sacks. If Ben paid $1,400 for his 40 sack, then the price of 1 sack is $1,400 divided by 40, or $35 for a sack. That's why Tom gets $175 and Mark gets $1,225. Mike was going home carrying $300. A man stopped him and offered him a chance to double the money. Mike just had to roll a die and have 4 or more, or roll 2 dice and get 5 or 6 on at least one of the dice, or roll 3 dice and get 6 on at least one of them. If not, the man would take his money. What is the best strategy to keep the money? The young man should just decline the offer. This way, he'll have a 100% chance to keep his money. If he decides to agree to the bet with 1 die, he has a 50% chance of winning. If he decides to agree to the bet with 2 dice, there's a 56% chance that he will win. And if he agrees to the 3 dice bet, his chances of winning are 42%. And finally, can you figure out what is next in this sequence of numbers? It's going to be this long number. You see, each next number is a verbal representation of the number before it. This way, if we start with 1, the next number in the sequence will be 1, 1, and the next is 2 ones. Then we've got 1, 2, 1, 1, and so on. Yeah, that's weird.
3 people were walking on the streets when they saw a car parked in a prohibited place, with the alarm going off. A police officer stopped the 3 of them and asked whose car it was. They all said the car was theirs. Which one is lying? The guy in the suit is wearing a badge, and the same badge is hanging on the rear view of the car. There's also a university sticker on the car, which is the same on the girl's notebook. They must be family and own the car. The delivery man is the one who's lying. Joe is an important lawyer. Right before a hearing, a crucial piece of evidence was stolen from his office. Take a look at the image. Can you guess which of these three people stole the evidence? The intern is just carrying coffee. Joe's assistant is carrying his dry cleaning. The client carrying the suitcase is trying to hide an important piece of paper, which is the stolen piece of evidence. Becca went to get some ice cream, but when she arrived at the store, she noticed that the attendant was super nervous. He told Becca someone had stole some money from the cash register when he was away, and he doesn't know who did it. Take a look around. Who did it? The little girl with the balloon looks innocent. The teenager with the hoodie is just enjoying his ice cream. But oh, that grandma over there, she's hiding some dollar bills beneath her wig. Joe was an undercover police officer and was invited to a charity dinner at a fancy hotel. When he arrived, the hostess told him that someone had stolen her expensive gold necklace. Take a look around. Can you find the thief? The waiter is too busy bussing tables. That socialite is just trying to take the perfect selfie. And oh, that businessman with the dark suit. There's something shiny poking out of his pocket. He's the culprit. Alex, the town's barista, just got home from a long day at work. She was watching a movie on her TV when she got a notification saying someone was trying to hack her Wi-Fi. She decided to look out the window to see if she could find the hacker. Who is it? That girl is just walking her dog and texting. That couple looks like they're having a heavy discussion about something. But oh, that neighbor is glued to his window with his phone in his hand. It must be him. Jack is the chef at a fancy restaurant. One Sunday, a top-notch celebrity was coming to have dinner, and he prepared the best menu starting with a soup. As soon as he served the soup to his A-list guest, he noticed something was off. The soup was poisoned. There were only 2 women in charge of the soup. Which one of them poisoned it? They both look pretty professional as chefs, but if you look closely, one of them has black hair, and the poisoned soup had a strand of black hair in it. Taylor, a high-profile detective, was leaving the supermarket when the police came rushing in asking for her help. A woman had robbed a jewelry store and was seen walking into that building. Can you tell which one of these teachers is the thief? Take a look at the second cashier's long-sleeved shirt. It has a very shiny diamond necklace peeking out of it. She's most certainly the thief. At the city's famous research center, 3 scientists were testing a new experimental formula. That's when the alarm went off, indicating one of the samples was sabotaged. Who was actually not a scientist and sabotaged the whole thing? The first scientist has her protective gloves still intact. The second guy is looking closely at the vials with his glasses fogged up from the explosion. And the third woman is holding an empty tube and has small purple spots on her finger. She's the culprit, because the toxic liquid that sabotaged the whole thing is purple. Holly and Paula grew up in middle-class families. After graduation, they moved to LA to follow their dreams. But while Holly succeeded greatly in her career, making a lot of money, Paula wasn't as lucky. Today, one is rich and the other is broke. Take a look at the image of both girls' apartments. Can you guess who is who? Paula is the one on the left. Although she looks like she owns some nice stuff, all of her home decor has price tags on it, so she's probably planning on returning these items to the store. Bob was in line at a meat shop downtown when a robbery happened. That day, the shop was selling premium bacon that was worth $200 per pound. After a big rush of customers came in, the owner noticed that the expensive piece of bacon had gone missing. Can you help Bob spot the thief? It's the guy in the suit. The dog is smelling his bag like there's some meat inside of it. He's definitely it. Shelly and Bernie are best friends. Bernie decides to save money to get her a very good present. On the first day of the month, he puts $1 in his piggy bank. On the second, he puts in $2. On the third day, $3. Shelly's birthday has arrived and Bernie saved a total of $276. What day of the month was Shelly born? Shelly's birthday is on the 23rd day of the month. The easiest way to crack this riddle would be to simply add the numbers until we get 276. Erica and Brenda are meeting for coffee. Eric is excited because he knows Brenda has a secret to tell him. Brenda has a new crush, but she won't reveal his name. Erica asks her to write a clue for him on a piece of paper, and she writes the following code: December, August, November. Can you figure out her crush's name? If we take the first letters of each month, we'll get the name Dan. Martha and Oliver have a thing for abandoned mansions that look haunted. So on a Friday night, they went to visit one. The house was falling apart and they could hear a cry coming from it. Martha decided to enter through the main door, while Oliver went straight to the basement. Take a look at the image. Who is in greater danger? It's Oliver. If the house decided to crumble right that instant, it would definitely hurt Oliver. Yikes! On her 6th birthday, Camilla got 3 new dolls as gifts. But during her first night with the dolls, she ran into her parents' room crying and scared, saying one of the dolls was alive. Take a look at them. Can you guess which one? Let's see. The first doll has glowing eyes, but that's just a fun feature. You can see her clothes also have the same thing. The second doll looks normal. But the third doll has wrinkly skin and her face has changed since Camilla first saw her. That's the one. Mia is traveling and she just arrived in a new city. Most of the hotels were booked since it was summertime, so she only found available rooms in an old house. There were 3 rooms for her to choose from. Take a look at the picture. Which one should she pick? See the hidden scorpions behind the curtains in the first room? That's a no-go. As for the third room, notice how the AC is set to cold even though it's snowing outside? She should definitely pick the second room. It looks clean. These are Julia and Maria. They're both very attractive young women that have no trouble finding boyfriends. Today is Valentine's Day, and they're both going out with their loved ones. One of them is currently dating 3 people, though. She's probably going to run from date to date. Just by looking at this image, can you tell which one it is? It's Maria, the one on the left. If you look at her workstation, she's got 3 presents lined up. One for each person she's currently seeing.